everybody has the big idea of, oh, I'm going to own a coffee shop one day.
Honestly.
But most people don't do it. So, like, when did it become real?
We both just kind of fell in love with going to local coffee shops. And we started kind of daydreaming, like, we could do this. Like, this is what we like. This is what we don't like. What if we put it all together and created something that we like together? I never felt like I had purpose at any job that I was at. And so he encouraged me to take a leap of faith and just open it up. And that's all I thought we were going to do for a little while. We just opened a little coffee trailer, and that's all it was at first. And then God's just taken it to the next level.
Welcome back to the Discover Fort Smith podcast. My name's Josh Bufink. I'm with the city of Fort Smith, and sitting next to me today is my awesome co-host, Joe Klein. He's here representing the CVB, also known as Discover Fort Smith. Thanks for being here, Joe, and thanks for letting us use your studio today.
Absolutely.
To record these podcasts.
Mom, I made it. I'm on the podcast.
Well, and I also want to introduce our awesome guests who are here with us today from Olive Coffee Company. We've got Colby and Hannah Barker. Thank you for being a guest on our show.
Of course.
Yeah, we're honored to be here.
So I just want to hear, and we start the show off with this just about every time. What's your Fort Smith story? Did you grow up here? Did you move here? How did you end up in Fort Smith, Arkansas?
Wait. I'm so sorry. I need to interrupt you first, Josh. We got some coffee that I really want to try.
Oh, hey.
That's from them.
Olive Coffee Company coffee. So this is I have never had it before.
Okay.
And I was a little embarrassed that I hadn't had it before.
Yeah, we were upset about
and
it.
I asked you to be on the show. And I was telling Joe this earlier. I was like, I haven't had the coffee yet. So he said, well, I'll just have him bring some. So here we are.
Yeah, before we try, can you tell us what we have that we're trying?
So one of them, I believe it's that one, is a shaken espresso. It does have Pink House Alchemy's pH delight in there. It is honey, vanilla, and cinnamon. It's in one syrup. And that one is our house-made cozy oat latte. It does have a house-made syrup in there.
Here we go.
It's pecan, yes.
I really want this syrup
Oh,
recipe.
yeah.
It's so good. Yeah.
That is good.
Before I rudely interrupted, I just needed to go ahead and start getting this
no
in my
doubt.
system.
And I'm lactose intolerant, so this is really good for me.
Oh,
Oat
yeah.
milk. So.
Likewise, yeah.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for this. This is
Absolutely.
awesome.
Absolutely.
And I love the branding, too. That's incredible. So great job. I'm going to be sipping on this throughout the entire podcast. So back to what I was saying. What's your story? How did you end up in Fort Smith, Arkansas?
So we are from the area. We're from a small town called, well, really from Mulberry. Graduated from Alma, from Crawford County, my family. Been here my entire life. And so Fort Smith has always been, the big city for us. It's
Like
where
going
we
to
went.
town?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so that's where we went. It's where we've always been. So I've been around Fort Smith ever since I was little, even though we lived outside of the town itself.
Nice. You're from Mulberry as well?
Yes.
All right. So how'd you guys meet?
We met in about, was it like 9th grade?
Okay.
Yeah. He always says...
Love at first sight?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For me. She took a minute to figure it out.
He always says, we're only 25 days apart, so he always says our moms bumped bellies. So he says that's when we met, but it actually was in like 8th or 9th grade at like a leadership school event. So
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so she went to Mulberry. I went to a small school called Pleasant View, who is now all combined into one school. But at that time, we were separate schools. And so everybody knew everybody. We both played sports. At those smaller schools, basketball was a big thing.
Yeah.
And so when you did play, you knew the other team and pretty much everybody on it. And so we met through school, through the different events, just knowing of who each other is. Didn't really start dating until after we were out of school. And then we're married by 19 and started a life. We had our first child about a year and a couple months later, and had to grow up really fast.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so we started early in life, and now we've been married for 15 years and have a 14-year-old, an 11-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 1-year-old, 2 boys, 2 girls, and so it keeps us on our toes.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Man, you guys are busy. Business owners, having all the kids, doing all the activities, and then you mentioned some other stuff that we're going to get into later. That's incredible.
Yeah.
How do you manage the schedules?
Good people, honestly,
Yeah.
around us.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we've surrounded ourselves with some really awesome folks. So when we say we own, Olive or some of the different things we do, we really have good partners in life. Whether it's family, my parents watch our children when we need to, which is a huge blessing and something that honestly enables us to do a lot that we do. But also we have really good teams that when we say we run Olive, we get to put vision into Olive. We get to make decisions and do the things. But we have a really phenomenal team that manages a lot of the day-to-day that enables us to not be as hands-on with that business.
We got it started and off the ground and kind of got it to where it is now, but our team definitely keeps it going.
Absolutely. Yeah, we couldn't do it. We've grown from, at that time when we started Olive, it was Hannah and a couple staff. I remember making the comment I wasn't going to have anything to do with it. It was her business. I was in full-time work in the corporate world doing marketing and business development. So that was going to be what I did the rest of my life. And fast forward, it's definitely changed quite a bit as far as my role. But just having team members to do a lot of the day-to-day that we did at that point. Now we don't have to do as much. So it's been pretty good.
Nice.
That's cool.
So what made you want to start a coffee company? Where did that idea come from?
And I do
Sounds
wanna,
like it was hers.
I want to preface this and say too, because that's like, I don't know, a lot of people who, especially if you've been in ministry, like, we'll get into that a little bit that you guys do. A lot of people in ministry who like hang out in coffee shops and do a lot of fellowshipping. Everybody has the big idea of, I'm going to own a coffee shop one day.
Honestly.
But most people don't do it. So like, how did y'all actually get to where, when did it become real, first of all?
So
like that's a moment where it became real.
It started probably 10, 11 years ago. Just as a young married couple where like we don't really have any hobbies to do together. So we both just kind of fell in love with going to local coffee shops, and
Absolutely.
we both really enjoyed it. And we started kind of daydreaming like we could do this. Like this is what we like. This is what we don't like. What if we put it all together and created something that we like together? And I never felt, like I had purpose at any job that I was at. And so he encouraged me to take a leap of faith and just open it up. And that's all I thought we were going to do for a little while. We just opened a little coffee trailer, and that's all it was at first. And then God's just taken it to the next level. So
That's awesome. So it was a trailer for a while?
it was, a little trailer
It was
in
a
Alma.
14-foot trailer. We had as many as 4 people working in it because it hit the ground running, and we were busy. And so like we had to have staff. We were at, certain events or whatever. And so it was fun. And even now we have some either people we still know that worked for us, or we have one of our team members that's still with us that worked in the trailer. And it's kind of like the good old days. You look back to and you think of those small beginnings and what it was, and people pushing people out of the way because I'd be in the way, and Hannah would be, pushing me up against the counter like, hurry, move. Because it was a little chaotic inside the trailer, and it was a small space, and it was fun and really enabled us to learn and learn how to do things together and learn the importance of people being in the right position and not crossing and so much. So it was a good time.
But essentially it started though with just the love of coffee, and it transformed into, well, we love people too. So how can we create a space where we can bring the two together? And that's kind of where it transformed into, let's open a brick and mortar, and let's open in a space where it's more of like a destination space. So our first brick and mortar was over at the Arkansas College of Health, where you're not coming over there unless you're coming over there. So,
Over here at Ake, that was your first location?
yes, that was our first brick and mortar that we opened.
I
Yeah.
had no idea.
So we actually had felt that we were supposed to do something. And I can remember it was a Sunday evening, and we were talking. We were in the living room, and we were just having it like, if we're going to do something different, if it's going to be more than this, what is it? And we prayed together, and it's like, God, just show us. And I don't ever want to preach the God's just going to put everything in your lap, and if it falls in your lap, run with it and all that. But all glory to Him. Within 20 minutes, we were getting a phone call from a contact, and they made the comment. They said, "We don't know if you'd be interested, but we'd love for you to come look at the space." Wow. And it was one of those times, and there's several of those marked moments throughout Olive's time that we just knew, okay, this is bigger than we are.
Yeah.
Let's go check it out. And we certainly felt like we wouldn't be able to do it. Like, who are we to?
Yes.
Because when you roll up on Arkansas College for Health, like, that's a pretty cool. It's a cool feeling, and we hadn't been out there before, so I remember, like, this is in Fort Smith, like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And so putting a business in there definitely felt big for us. Signing a lease was huge. That was probably one of the scarier moments.
Yeah.
Now it's 5 years is not a long time, but in that moment it's like, oh my goodness, what are we doing? And so it was, fast forward, it was definitely God, and we got in there and things clicked, and it's been a very good location for us.
Yeah.
Before we dive too much into the weeds, for the people who don't know, can we back up and just say, how many locations do you guys have?
Yeah.
Tell us the difference between the locations. Again, just for people who may not have been to all of them or even know how many that you have.
So I'm going to throw a little curveball to that.
Okay.
So we own 2 different coffee businesses. We're speaking about Olive Coffee, which is, we have a location in Alma. We have one at Arkansas College for Health, technically in Barling, but also in Fort Smith, right across the road from each other, right? They have that weird separation.
Heritage,
Right, a heritage. Then we have one off of Highway 71 in Fort Smith. That is our 3rd location. We're opening up a 4th in the new year that's going to be at Eastside Baptist Church's annex building. So that's in the realms right now, and
cool.
is working. So that's a cool spot. And then we have another business called Blackbird Coffee Roasters. We're out in Northwest Arkansas. We roast for a lot of shops, both in the River Valley, and I think we're in 5 states now. And we are opening up a location there as well that's called the Tasting Room by Blackbird Coffee.
Wow.
And so that one is going to be a little more detailed when it comes to craft. It's definitely not going to be a fast-paced environment. It's going to be very coffee centric. It's where our roaster is at. So it's just a little different take on who we are in the coffee world that fits a different market, but fits the roasting area as well. So that's all of our locations though right now.
Wow, that's a lot to manage at once. That sounds awesome. So, I'm curious, where did the name come from? Olive Coffee Company. What's the story behind the name?
That one started with a little play on words years ago. He went out of town, and I wrote on a little piece of cardboard, "All of you," and stuck it in his wallet. I was hopeful that he would find it while he was gone, but he didn't.
However, I did not.
He did not find it while he was gone. He found it probably a couple months after he got back home, maybe. I don't know.
It was a few weeks.
Yeah. And it kind of became like this little play on words that we had between the two of us, like "all of you." Anyway. And then, so then when we started talking about this business that we're going to have, of course, you have to have a business name. We were in the middle of a leadership meeting at the church that we were attending at the time, and they were talking about the significance of the olive branch in the Bible and how it pertains to life. Means growth, it means peace, it means long life. And so we're like, it kind of clicked. We're like, that is exactly what we want for our business. And so it just clicked. We're like, that's it. It's going to be Olive Coffee. And so Olive Coffee is kind of a play on words, like I love coffee, Olive Coffee.
Okay.
So it kind of transformed into more than just I love coffee, because we have a motto that says Olive Coffee, Olive People. So we love coffee and we love people. And so, yeah.
Yeah, that's really
Coffee
cool.
really brings people together too.
For sure does.
Yeah.
It's really cool when you go to a coffee shop. It's people from all different walks of life getting together. There's business meetings happening, and then there's just college kids just having a cup of coffee together. I mean, it's just all walks of life coming together, having conversations. That's why I love coffee.
Yeah.
For sure.
I actually wanted to touch on that because I think that's underestimated. People don't really understand how, like, this is one of the only places that daily different people from all income levels, places in life, kids, no kids, highs and lows, they cross every single day. This is one of the only places this happens. So with that being said, how would you guys define community? Now being, 3 shops later, going on 4, how would you define community?
I would define community as, let me back that up. So when I think about community, I think about a feeling. I think like it's easy to cross paths, and sometimes we're guilty of this, of being around community in Walmart, but you're like ducking your head, or whatever the case may be. But when I think about Olive or third spaces as it's referred to, I think about the warm embrace, or also the doing life together when it's not so great.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times we've had people either come to the shop or we see others where there's tears going. That's when it's the good, the bad, and the ugly. And when those three can exist in a relationship and be able to come together, like at Olive, it's a very special thing. It's one of the things that keeps us going and puts, I would say, the most wind in my sail, is just knowing that we're able to provide a space of that true connection. Because we're missing that. So often we're more on an island by ourselves than we are connected with others, and we definitely feel like when you're alone, you're most easily what's the word? I want to say that well. For one, when you're alone, you're most easily discouraged.
Yeah.
But when you're alone, it just seems like when an attack comes or thoughts or whatever, that's when you really need people the most. And so just creating a space that allows that connection to happen has been really special to us.
And I think like now more than ever, we're in close proximity to people, but we're not in community with people. People are on their phones, and they could be right across the table from each other, but there's no community actually happening.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think coffee kind of breaks that down.
Yeah. Why do you think that is? I want to dig a little bit deeper there. And did you have
something that I always that's sticks in my heart all the time when I think about people and relationships and community. The only thing we can take with us when we go is our relationships. That's literally the only thing that you can take. So for me, relationships and community is so big because that's the only thing we have. When we leave this world, all we have is our relationships. So for me, that's a pretty big thing in community. So, yeah.
I was just touching on there saying before we kind of back up and talk about some of the places and things that you guys love doing in the area, why do you think coffee shops are one of the only places where we as society don't see it weird to walk into a place and see someone having like an experience where someone may be crying or someone may be it's just like if you walked into Walmart and you saw someone having interactions that you typically see at a coffee shop, it's not okay there.
No.
But at coffee shops, we don't even think about it.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah. I think my first thought was, especially, and people have said it, like if you come into our home right now, aesthetically, it's going to feel like Olive. Paint colors, decor, plants, couches, things of that nature. And when I think of coffee shops, especially ours and some of the other local ones that we really love, that are the third spaces, I think it's more closely related to that comfort of a home. Like there are things within there that allows me, where when I walk into a grocery store, it's colder. It's got the things, like it's more, we got to move, you got to get out of the way. We're in a hustle bustle, where when I can walk into a coffee shop, we can slow down a little bit. I have the amenities and the comforts of a home. I have things that, we're playing music all the time. You turn that music off, the atmosphere changes immediately. You take comfortable chairs out, the atmosphere changes immediately. And it's something we tell our team all the time, but the customer experience, we relate it to a home. Every orientation I've ever done for our team, you're saying hello when they come in, you're saying goodbye when they leave, and we're spending time with them in between. It's not just for that sale or that transaction, but it truly is the entire time that we're there. We want to make sure that just like at your home, that they can feel comfortable and know that they're welcome there, regardless of a new purchase every 30 minutes. Because there's people, they might buy one coffee and sit there for 6 hours. They're welcome, and we love having them. And so it's definitely just a different environment compared to taking up table space at a restaurant. They're ready for you to move so the next guest can come in. We welcome the long sitters. So.
Yeah. You guys said, you grew up around Fort Smith. Kind of wanted to back up a little bit. I was curious about what your interactions growing up around Fort Smith were with Fort Smith, and then how does that look like today? Like as you've seen Fort Smith kind of expand, you've already touched on things like saying, I had no idea Ake was there before we moved in. So what did it look like then, and then what does it look like now? And you have a pretty big family too, so you can kind of even talk about that. What do y'all do together?
Yeah, to be honest, lifestyle's definitely changed from when I was growing up until now. I would say coming to Fort Smith at that time was more of your bigger trips. It was more of your
Like a treat.
yes, it very much was. And so I would say just it's changed because of the way of life has changed a little bit from when we were younger.
Yeah.
And so seeing the things like we maybe didn't experience the local scene as much growing up as that's where we stay now.
Yeah.
I would say our primary focus is the local companies, the different restaurants, the doing life. I know we mentioned earlier the Fort Smith Patriots and playing basketball with them, and so we're certainly building life and doing a lot more. We're eating out, way too many times a week, but our local life has definitely increased with different locally owned businesses and that sort of thing.
Name drop. What's some of the places?
Oh, I mean,
Las Americas.
Las Americas is definitely. we love Miss Mercedes at Las Americas. I know they just rolled out, but we love Vinny's Pies.
Yeah.
They were awesome. We saw them in Olive a lot.
Yeah.
They were definitely loves.
And even just regular shopping in general, just we do have multiple kids, so buying clothes and stuff. I love the polka dotted zebra. Over at next to one of our locations at Heritage. And then our daughter loves to shop at Card and Cloth. So we really do try to support the local shops because we know how important it is for the locals to stick together.
Absolutely.
You guys talk about how you're connected in the community quite a bit. I know we were talking a lot about it before with you.
Yeah.
Can you kind of back up and tell us all the different places you're connected?
Yeah, I know you're involved in like a nonprofit organization
Okay,
as
gotcha.
well, and
Yeah,
then churches, I think, is what we'd mentioned earlier. So
Yeah, so I'm executive pastor at Kibler Baptist Church in Kibler. I've been on staff for a little over a year now. It's definitely been a phenomenal place for our growth. I mentioned it last night in a conversation, but it's definitely been one of the more growing seasons that I've been in, especially when it comes to people. It's very easy to say I love people when they're doing well. It's another thing when you get to do life with, again, the good, bad, and ugly. And so that's been amazing, honestly. Being at Kibler, it's been a very good thing for our family. We're also part of a nonprofit called Village to Village. That has been another really cool story where just a full circle of connection brings us back to that. But it is essentially a connecting place for resources or people that want to get into missions to people that are already doing missions. And when we reference the word missions, we automatically think of Uganda, Thailand, El Salvador, and Greece, where we have locations as a nonprofit. Uganda's got 300 plus students, where Greece is teaching English as a second, or not Greece, Thailand is teaching English as a second language, and Greece is more of a church plant. And they're all doing different things, but there's also those local nonprofits that we're able to partner with and do things for. And so the 12 acres that Olive sits on Highway 71 is part of that nonprofit. That entire building it should be open in the next, I'm going to say 60 days. We're in the middle of painting right now. Floor should be going in really quickly, but it's a very cool common ground for people that want to do missions work. It's a great unifying place for churches and pastors to come together, not just be on their own island of things. And so we've seen a lot of really neat work done with Village to Village and everything that it stands for.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So if somebody just wanted to buy a bag of your coffee somewhere, is that possible?
Absolutely. So all of our stores carry a few origins. So if we use it in the store, we carry it in the store. But then you can access all the origins that we roast, both for ourselves and for all of our other customers out of olivecoffeecompany.com. You can sign up for subscriptions. You can get it sent. It's shipping all over the United States every day, but we ship pretty far. It's been very neat to see how people come into connection with Olive, especially out of Ake. We see a lot of folks that get to come in to see their children, that are students out there, and they really like Olive, which is an honor for us. And then they end up getting on subscription and getting it shipped to their home. So that's been a very neat thing that I don't think we expected is touching those families as they come into town.
How much coffee do you drink a day?
I probably don't drink as much as people probably think I do.
Did you
I
ever
would be
though?
afraid, like if I owned a coffee shop, that
Yeah.
I would.
So
be
actually,
drinking
that
way
was
too
one
much
of the
coffee.
things too. When
Yeah.
before we started, we drank a lot of coffee.
Yeah.
We're like, if we start our own coffee shop, then we don't have to pay for this anymore.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Obviously, we still have to pay
Yeah.
for it, but it
It is a
doesn't
benefit.
hurt as bad.
Yeah.
It is a perk.
That's the thing, though. A lot of people, do think, oh, if you work at a coffee shop, own a coffee company, you're just going to be drinking coffee all day. You really do get kind of, at least for me, I'll get tired of it for a while, and I have to switch it up. So then I'm switching up, my brew method. I'm not drinking espresso for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to try another brand's coffee. Like, I get tired of it. You just want to switch it up. But then also, like, you get overstimulated. Like it's not good for your body to be used to that much caffeine.
Right.
So it's pretty healthy to do a detox. I did 3 months, 90-day detox this year.
Oh, I need to do that, Joe.
Dude, it's so good. I at least
But none
recommend
of
that
our
everyone does
listeners
it.
need to, okay?
Yeah, do it for at least 1 month. I do 1 month.
But you guys offer
Yeah,
tea.
we do.
Yeah. On your menu, on your fall menu, winter menu, you have non-coffee items up there.
We try to do that every seasonal menu just because I know there's people out there that can't have coffee.
Yeah.
Or
even
don't really like it.
decaf
so-
or having energies or teas.
Yeah.
Like it's just trying to make a menu that when there are friends that are coming to meet,
Yeah.
there could be one of them that doesn't like coffee.
Yeah.
And so if we're going to apply to everyone, then we need to have products for everybody. So
I'm gonna throw you guys a curveball.
let's do it.
And I can cut this out if I need to. But when I do events around here, whether it's like a Peacemaker conference or, a big name comes through the convention center, I either see them behind stage drinking like either you guys' coffee or Fort Smith Coffee Co.'s coffee. So I'm curious, from what you've heard from your baristas, who are some of the cool names who've come through your shops over the years?
I mean, obviously, I can think of a couple, but
Yeah. So I don't know if y'all know of them or not, but because they kind of do more backyard type concerts, but they also
He's gonna know them.
But they also are at Silver Dollar City.
yeah, they were last
Arbor
year.
Season.
Oh, I know them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have come in, and unfortunately, I was
Husband
there
and
when
wife
they came
duo?
in. Yes.
Yeah.
they're really
I
cool.
wasn't there when they came in, but our team was sure to let them know how big of a fan I am. So
Yeah.
And we
yeah.
can see Shay Mooney's been in
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
So that's obviously a big name. And honestly, there's a lot of folks that we don't get to see as much. I don't know of any big names that would have came through.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so don't have a good answer to that.
I mean, those are good.
Those are pretty good. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, we think they're both
Yeah.
pretty awesome. And honestly, not to be too cheesy, but we've met a lot of really cool local people that
Yeah.
we consider to be big names that maybe aren't music talented people,
Yeah.
but are just really cool folks that we've gotten to know.
Yeah.
And so like when I think of the relationships that have been built, even to answer that question, the big names, like I just think of all the people that we've been able to come in contact with, even
Even
you
y'all.
two,
Yeah.
right? Like, and again, not to be cheesy, but you're a big name to us
Yeah.
when it comes in, and so there's a lot of
shucks.
connection. Oh shucks, there's been a lot of really cool folks that are here in Fort Smith,
Yeah.
that we've been able to meet and build relationships with, and are now some of our very best friends are because we've met them at Olive.
Yeah.
And
that is awesome.
so that's definitely by far my favorite part of having Olive is the connections we've made.
I mean,
with
we were
people.
eating dinner last night at Texas Roadhouse, and the girl comes up and she was like, "Someone told me that y'all own Olive Coffee Company. I love Olive Coffee."
Yeah, it was an
It's
honor
like-
for sure.
Cool.
never
That
seen
is
her before.
awesome.
So that was cool.
Yeah, it's neat. Just again, because we see ourselves as just Hannah and Colby from Alma that started a trailer, and it's neat to see people that have been impacted by Olive, and that was one of them. I was last night at the restaurant, so little stuff like that definitely keeps us going.
Yeah. So, where do you guys like to go when you're not at the coffee company, at Olive Coffee Company? Where do you like to hang out with, and then maybe without your kids?
I mean, we love Piattos. That's
Oh, okay, yeah.
we definitely.
He was just bragging about their pizza earlier.
Oh, I love
Their
Chef
crust is
Piattos.
amazing.
Yeah.
And isn't he so cool, the chef?
is.
He is like one of the
Polly.
coolest people. You just have to go and meet him.
Yeah.
And we met
you-
him
have you
at
I
Olive.
met him. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we did
They always
meet
come out
him.
and
We
he
met
always
him in
comes
the
out and asks
drive-thru.
how you doing. Yeah. Sorry.
We met him in the drive-thru at Olive, and actually, his niece works for us. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's been cool. Yeah.
That's cool.
But and I don't know if it's on the menu, but he made us a dessert pizza when we went, and it was just really cool.
He said it was like his grandma or his mom's.
It was phenomenal. Whatever it had, I think it had pears on it. Maybe it was so
cinnamon
good.
and ricotta.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
it was
that
very,
sounds
very good.
delicious.
And right now with this weather, their patio right now in the evenings is like, just one of the best spots in Fort Smith to be in the evenings.
Yeah. And honestly, like we're closed in the evenings, and so after we go eat dinner, we do go to Fort Smith Coffee Company and hang out.
That's
For
fun.
sure. Yeah, we've as of recent we've been there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we love
that.
coffee.
Yeah.
Hanging out, you're in it together. You know, I love that.
No. Yeah, no doubt. And that's a thing, like for them and anybody else. We're very close, I would say, with several coffee shop owners. Part of Blackbird, what we do is we help people open up. And so like Perk and Arc and Van Buren, we've got one in Greenwood and Charleston. Like we have shops that we roast for and help train and do a lot of that. And we just feel like the small coffee community, and I don't know if small is even the right word, but just outside of corporate chains.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those businesses, it's so cool if we can stick together because there's plenty of business out there. There's plenty of coffee drinkers to
There's
go
room
around.
for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's just special. And so we hats off to Fort Smith Coffee Co. We've been around there for a long time. We love them and love their coffee. So definitely we push. And we tell our baristas, like, we want them to go to other places. Don't just stay at Olive or even be standoffish to other shops. Like, let's support each other. So it's been neat. It's been neat. Same with Northwest Arkansas. One thing we do is we just like going to coffee shops. That's date night for us.
Yeah.
If we go out of town,
Or date day.
we might hit 8 or so shops.
Our goal
Like,
was
that's what we
9
do.
on our anniversary trip. So
And we did it. So anyway.
Just in Northwest Arkansas?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's just so wild.
It's so fun.
And they were all different?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh, there's.
I mean, I don't know why I'm
You
surprised,
could do
but
30 up there. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
enough. Yeah.
that's so crazy.
And they're all different. And that's
Yeah.
cool too, right? When coffee doesn't, like, it seems like they would all be the same, but so far everybody's done a great job at having their own, even people that carry the same coffee.
Yes.
Because I would say even our shops that we help open, they're not Olive. They are them and have their own unique identity.
One thing I like about Fort Smith is each shop that we have, like from every company, is a different experience.
Yeah.
Like when you walk in a Fort Smith Coffee Co., their original location, that is a completely different experience than the Bakery District, than the Riverfront, than Olive over at Ake, than Olive over there. But when you walk into the Olive off the highway over here, off of that, what's that highway?
Off 71.
F-71, another completely different experience
sure.
that you're not going to feel anywhere else. So it's like, even though we have kind of like a couple of companies that have multiple locations, they all feel different.
Yeah, they do. They do, and it's neat because we have regulars, especially on the students, and we will see them out at other coffee shops or at each one of ours. I've seen the student at all, including our Almo one, which is 25 minutes from here.
Oh, wow.
And so it's neat to see, like,
Looking around.
they need a change of environment as well some, and so it's cool to be able to see them traveling in between shops and not just staying in one seat. I will say we upgraded our seats at Alma, and so
Yeah, they're a little more comfy now.
yeah. So that was funny. Just having a comfortable seat, it made all the difference because now they match our other locations. So
That's so
it was funny, the little change. We got a lot of compliments. Out
Yeah.
there. Man, we love these.
Well, I just want to say thank you guys for being on the show today and for sharing your story. And you mentioned that Olive stands for growth, and it sounds like things are growing in your business. So I'm excited to see that trajectory continue as you guys continue to grow and bring people together at Olive Coffee Company.
Yeah,
Thank
love
you.
that. Thanks for having us. It was
Absolutely.
really fun.